Welcome to In Depth with Academia. I'm Richard Price, CEO of Academia EDU, and today we're diving into a super intriguing vision of the future. One that's bold, sweeping, and frankly has a little bit of everything. We're talking about Morocco 2050, a vision of economic dynamism, social progress, and geopolitical influence. A paper by Dr. Jalal Nali. Is Morocco actually on track to be a powerhouse nation by mid-century? Well, Dr. Nali paints a detailed, emphasis on detailed, picture, and I'll do my best to walk you through the core ideas. And remember, while I'm sharing the findings and arguments of Dr. Nali's research, I'm not taking sides here. I want you to hear these insights and judge for yourself. Right, so let's start with the big idea. The central question in this paper is, how could Morocco transform itself by 2050 into a top emerging economy, an African leader in resilience, digital innovation, and geopolitics? This is not some pie-in-the-sky dream, according to Dr. Nali, but a trajectory that's supposedly already being shaped. Why does this matter for you? Well, no matter where you're listening from, you get to see up close how a country envisions reinventing itself and what the long game of development might be, plus the lessons and the risks along the way. Now, how does Morocco get from here to there? Dr. Nali maps out 11 strategic axes. Think of these like major pillars or focus areas. Let's run through a few highlights because, wow, there's a lot. We've got the green economy. Morocco's aiming to be Africa's green energy powerhouse with huge investments in solar, wind, hydrogen, reforestation, and climate-adapted agriculture. So, if you care about climate, food, or energy, this is a front-row seat to what a national transition could look like. Another axis, digital transformation. Morocco wants to leapfrog into the digital age, meaning tons of emphasis on AI governance, tech infrastructure, and making digital services and fintech more widely available. For listeners who love tech, this is fascinating. It's about using cutting-edge tools, not just for economic growth, but also social inclusion and public service. Then there's a real focus on education and healthcare. The vision includes revamping education to prep young Moroccans with digital skills, multilingual training, and hopefully aligning what's taught with what the future job market needs. Universal healthcare, biotechnology research, and medical tourism. Big dreams here. And trust me, Dr. Nali does not skimp on the details. Cultural and creative industries? Check. The military sector? There. Real estate innovation, mega projects like the Morocco-Nigeria gas pipeline, and aspirations for greater geopolitical clout, like maybe even a permanent UN Security Council seat. Hey, shoot for the stars, right? It's all in there. But what's also clear is that none of it, is taken for granted. The paper actually spends a lot of time on risks and challenges. For example, Morocco's had impressive poverty reduction and infrastructure boosts over the last 2 decades, but it's not all sunshine. Problems like persistent regional inequalities, youth unemployment, climate threats, public debt, bureaucracy, and even the dominance of informal sectors keep popping up. Addressing climate change is massive. Water scarcity, drought, and urban overcrowding, those are real headaches. And, let's not forget regional instability. Morocco's location means it has to stay nimble and resilient in a turbulent neighborhood. By the way, it's kind of funny, reading about all these mega projects, I started picturing Morocco just turning into one giant construction site. Cranes everywhere, people running around with blueprints. At some point, I had the oddest craving for tagine, which, I guess is a different kind of Moroccan project. Anyway, moving on. Dr. Nali pushes for something he calls adaptive foresight and scenario planning. It's all about thinking ahead and assessing risks, from economic shocks to environmental disasters and even disruptive tech. What does this vision mean for you? I think it's twofold. First, if you're in policy, education, business, even if you're just curious, you can see the powerful role of ambition, planning, and constant adjustment. But also, the paper makes it clear, none of this is inevitable. Success depends on implementation, on adapting when things don't go as planned, and on making sure all those grand strategies translate into real social improvements, not just glossy headlines. If you take one thing away, let it be this. Academic research, like Dr. Nali's, isn't the absolute truth. It's a set of insights, not gospel. It's an invitation for questioning, reflection, and maybe a bit of skepticism mixed with hope. So as always, I'm here just as the messenger. Don't shoot. I'm not taking a stance. But if you're inspired to dig deeper into Morocco's story or to wonder what bold, long-term vision could do for your own country, well, I think this paper has done its job. That's it for this edition of In Depth with Academia. I'm Richard Price, wishing you inspiration and curiosity for the week ahead. Stay open-minded, stay inquisitive, and I'll catch you next time.